Greetings, the Astro 30 here, and in today's video I'm doing another review type thing here. I've been out to Harvey Norman and I have purchased one of these. It's an Infinity MIC-358U USB powered microphone, USB 2, and it's basically designed for streaming and podcasting. Now, this little device set me back $99 from Harvey Norman. Now, before anyone gets down in the comments below and says I could probably purchase the same thing online for less, I know this, but me personally, I'm one of these people that want it now and can't be bothered waiting the postage time. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to open the box here. I'll just read off its specifications first. It says type side address condenser microphone. Polar pattern type is cardioid, which basically means it picks up sound from all directions. It's not directional in front of the microphone, sort of. Its sensitivity is -60 decibels with ±5 decibels on top of that. That's 1 volt per microbar. Frequency response is 50 Hz to 18 kHz, so it has a fairly high end range to it, as well as decent mids and quite a few lows. It would be better if it was more of a high pass, like a low cut, but it's not a studio mic, so you're not going to be recording singing or, you know, the latest Eminem album with it, although you probably could. We'll soon find out when we do a sound test. The maximum sound pressure level is 120 decibels, which is considerably loud, and I'm assuming that that's the maximum it can take before it starts to really clip badly. And the signal to noise ratio is 59 decibels, so it's on the noisy side of things, so it's definitely not a studio mic. Now, it says here the MIC-358U can be used on Windows XP. Ooh. Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10 and Mac OS 9/10 or above. So I'm not sure what year this was manufactured. It does not actually say anything. Onto the features on the back of the box here, or on the other side of the box, it's USB 2, headphone volume control knob, press to mute microphone, which is an interesting function, music/monitor select switch. Not sure what that's for until I get into it. Zero latency and real-time monitoring. Okay. Heavy-duty rugged zinc housing and metal screens. Now, the accessories are a USB to high-speed cable X1, diameter of 3.8 times 1.2 meter, USB 2, USB A type to B type plug, plated NI. Microphone support and bass are included. Now, the only thing it wouldn't include is a screen or a windsock, that pop filter, whatever you want to call it. So if you're really close to the microphone, it's going to be very breathy, is what I'm trying to say. So you'd have to find a separate windsock that would fit this mic, and it would be around about a standard size type studio microphone diameter, I suppose. But anyway, let's get the box open. Alright, let's get the box open. I'll just put my spectacles back on so I can see what I'm doing. Does this have any sticky tape or anything over it? Doesn't look like it. So I'll just do that and that. I'm probably doing this completely wrong, more than likely. But it's kind of hard doing something with the camera in the way. So this is the accessories box, which contains, by the weight of things, the base and whatnot you need to make the microphone stand on the desk. And in this little bubble form plastic thing is what looks like to be the microphone itself. So let me move the packaging out the way and we'll have a look at this part first. Okay, so don't need that bit of cardboard. It's probably upside down. Yes, it is. There we go. Take that off. Throw that to the side. Now it's a matter of figuring out how the damn thing comes out the plastic packaging. Right, during my rambling there, I figured out what's holding it in. There's this little plastic tab here in the plastic let you push in. Voila, and there it is there. And it's got quite a amount of decent weight to it too. There's our volume knob for the gain. You push it in like that momentarily to mute and unmute it. It's already got fingerprints over it. Now, I was way off with my diameter. That's larger than a studio mic, so finding a windsock that will fit that sort of size, which I'm estimating the diameter to be at least 60 millimeters. So yeah, good luck with that. There's the USB type connection there at the bottom of the microphone, which is also part of its mounting. That's where you screw the thing to your microphone stand to. And there is the headphone socket. There's a little tiny switch here for music and monitor, so I'm assuming when you flip it to there, you're monitoring the microphone, and when you flip it to music, you're actually monitoring what's coming off of your computer. So yeah, it's an interesting feature. Pity it's at the back of the microphone. Just saying. Alright, let's have a look at the accessories portion and see what we've got. Turning our attention to this box, which looks much easier to get into. We have the stand and the upright for it. A user manual, which is going to be practically useless, and goes through all the features and everything that's already on the side of the box. But it comes with an assembly demonstration. See there, it shows you how to assemble the microphone mount, the rod and the base. So it's got this little adapter thing, so it clears the USB interface cable with this donut thing here, and there's the actual screw mount itself. Now, I'm assuming that this screw mount is a standard microphone screw mount, so you can mount it to any stand you want. And I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. So there's that, and there's what looks like a locking washer, which will be in the instructions, and the USB cable. So this is supposed to be plug and play, which means you shouldn't have any issues with just hooking it to your computer and going away straight away. So, but let's get the thing assembled. First I'll get the USB cable out of its bag, so that's ready to go, because I don't need a bunch of plastic crap all over the desk. That's the mount itself. Okay, so there is the mount itself. So it'll actually, if you loosen it off, it'll pivot a good maybe 100, 105 degrees. So that's not too bad. And it would mount this way, so the microphone will be sitting on top of this part. That, and that just nearly soldered off. It's just a hollow piece of tubing. Of course, the base for the desk. So it's a simple matter of screwing this threaded portion into this, which doesn't matter which way up it goes, they're both the same thread. Like so. Now, I might have been a bit preemptive there. I might want to actually assemble it to the microphone the other way. Although I don't have to, because that screws onto that. So yeah, now I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just rambling now. So according to the instructions, it appears that I'm right, that this goes with this beveled internal edge up towards the microphone, because it does have a sort of recess here, so it would go something like that, and it actually does thread onto the microphone itself, which for some reason I'm having an awful difficult time doing. Without cross-threading it, which is the last thing you want to do, is you don't want to cross-thread it. So there we go, I've got it started, and of course I want this part to face towards the back, not the front. So it just does up with this little round ring at the bottom, So obviously it can only go on here one way, you can't mess it up. Well, I suppose you can. Right, so that's reasonable enough. Then that would screw onto there, but I'm wondering what that's for. That apparently goes in between the threaded rod and the microphone stand insert. Reason for that is so you can actually line up your microphone's frontal direction facing out with the stand's protruding part so that it's nice and central. I'm gathering that's what that's for. So that's what we'll do. So I'll just thread that onto there and lose it on the floor. Let's try that again. About there. And then screw the base to the microphone. And that's exactly what that part is for, because now it's not central. I can back that off, bring it down a bit, bring it forward to roughly where I want it, and then tighten that up again, and there we go. So there we are, that's what it looks like assembled. Isn't that special? Alright, now let's plug in the USB interface cable and see if it plays nice with the computer sitting behind it. Just plug the cable in. There we go. Okay, so now we'll just plug it in and do the old Windows plug and pray, and hopefully it initializes correctly. Well, looks like it found the device. And there's a pretty blue light on there too. Ooh, I like blue lights. Okay, with Audacity open, I'm just going to see if the microphone is recognised in the devices. Apparently it is. USB PMP sound DVIC. So we select that as the input. Make sure the recording volume is, I might as well do it maximum. And we'll start recording, and I can see that it is recording and it's reasonably hot. So I'll just drop the actual recording volume way down. There we go, that's a bit more acceptable. Now we can see here a bunch of noise. That's because it's probably most likely picking the sound up off of the desk that it's sitting on, which the computer is also sitting on, so it's picking up the fan. So its sensitivity is pretty big. Now I won't know what this sounds like until I play it back, but the next shot you'll see is me actually on camera talking with the microphone, and we'll see how it sounds. Alright, hello, testing, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. This is coming through the microphone itself. I did actually play that last clip that I recorded before doing this shot to see what it sounded like through the speakers of the computer. Sounds reasonable for the type of microphone it is. So this is the basic sound field that you would be using the microphone at, around about 15 centimeters away from you, and the signal is still relatively hot, so I can see by what it's recording in the background. So this would be way too close. Yeah, that just distorted. So this would be about the average distance, the level I've got it at, which is about 75% on Audacity. So yeah. Sound wise, I think it sounds alright. I'll find out during editing. But it seems to be picking up my voice quite well when I'm facing that way. Better obviously when I'm facing directly on it. And the same is it'd be picking it up okay that way. And if I was to the side of the microphone, like it was sitting next to me on the desk for instance, it'd still be picking up my voice, but it may start sounding a little bit muffled. So what do I think of this microphone? Well, I actually think it's quite good for the price. It's good value for money. It's good for doing basic home recordings such as podcasts and live streaming on YouTube and stuff like that. Even gaming, whatever you want to do. As a studio mic replacement, no, it's not balanced. So there's going to be, as we've seen on the specifications, a higher to signal noise ratio, of course. But there's also going to be inherent picked up noise through the cable, the internal circuitry, and all that. So it's not studio quality, but it'll do the job that it was intended for, which is recording your voice or transmitting your voice across the internet. Anyway, I'm the Astro 30 and I hope you found this video interesting, if not useful. And maybe go out and buy yourself one of these. You could probably find one online cheaper than what I paid it for. I mean, just don't take the word of a bearded man on YouTube for it. Go test it yourself. They're not that expensive. There are more expensive microphone options out there, but this one will probably do the job that I want it for, which is just doing basic narration or voiceovers on future videos where I don't want to use a big ass studio mic with a big ass mic stand. The only issue that would be is having it on the desk in vicinity of the computer that's recording it, with all the fans and vibration through the desk picking up through the microphone. And the height of the microphone is quite low profile, so you sort of have to be like leaning into it to talk into it. I didn't go into checking out what the music monitor switch at the back actually does. I'd have to grab a pair of headphones for that, and that's just going to make this video way too long. All we're interested in is, does the thing record voice with a good frequency response range, low enough noise? Does it sound okay? That's all we're interested in. So, and I think I've proved that. Anyway, I'm the Astro 30, and as I said, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe below. And you can also follow me on Facebook. The link is in the description. And it'd be really great if you're a first-time subscriber to also consider becoming a Patreon of mine, because your support, as little as $1 a month, I don't really care. It can be between $1 and $10 for all that matters. Your pledge will help me buy other stuff like this to review on the channel in between doing other projects. So yeah, show your support that way. Anyway, I've been the Astro 30 and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next one.